is Robin Higgins. I'm Assistant Superintendent here in the Texarkana, Arkansas School District, and I'm a founding board member of the Live United Bowl. And it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the beautiful Red Wall. On behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Becky Kessler, who's standing at the back of the room, and our high school principal, Michael Odom, our host today, we are so happy that you decided to join us. We look forward to this event every year. We have many VIPs in the room, but I'm going to mention a couple. We have Texas Side Mayor Bob Brueggemann, who is here today, and Stephen Hollybush, who's Assistant Mayor for Texarkana, Arkansas. Our Mayor, Alan Brown, and we'll hear more about that in a little bit. But at this time, I'm honored to introduce to you James Bramlett. James Bramlett is a former mayor of Texarkana, Texas. He's very involved in our local community. It's almost impossible to name all of his accomplishments and the places in which he has served the people of Texarkana. He's very involved in local education, serving on boards at Texas A&M, Texarkana, Liberty Ilo, Pleasant Grove, and I think everybody who's a member of the Texarkana, Arkansas School District can speak to his unwavering support of our students. Thank you, Mayor Bramlett, for all you do. He's also very involved in his church. He's been involved in the chamber. And what he's most known for is something that I can't believe's been around for 23 years, Bramlett Beans and Cornbread, which is something we look forward to as well and helps needy families in our area. Please welcome James Bramlett.
Thanks, Robin. It's an honor to be here today to welcome all of you to the Live United Bowl, the 9th year. And it's very exciting since the fact that due to the surrounding health concerns of the country and our area last year, we had to cancel it. So last year was the first year that Farmers Bank and Trust was asked to join the team and be title sponsor for the Live United Bowl. That comes in filling the big shoes of Dean and Lucretia Berry, who had been the previous sponsor, and also on behalf of Al and Shelby Brown and their team, bringing this idea to the community when they were chairs of the United Way campaign, because it's a gift that continues to give year after year. So here we are, year 9, bringing something to the community that makes this the community event each and every year. So this year, we're wanting to make sure everyone in this community comes out to see college football played at its best. Mayor Brown is going to announce the teams that are coming this year here in a few minutes. And we just want to tell you that this community comes together each and every year to support all the nonprofits. And what better way for a joining agency is the United Way under Mark Bledsoe and his team, for all the other agencies that they contribute back to. We want to give them a big round of applause. So they're longevity and giving back. Football is a game of teamwork, and nothing better for this community to come together as one team working to make this a very successful year. It's the first Saturday in December, December 4th. We're playing on great weather, and also that week is also the week of the 23rd annual Bramlett Beans and Cornbread on that Thursday. So we want to make everyone welcome out to the Texarkana, Texas Convention Center that Thursday, because we got a lot of events going on Thursday, Friday, with the teams coming in and working with Texarkana Resources and these men and women from these teams and these universities giving back to the Texarkana community, helping these nonprofits be successful. Thank you for everything you do in this community. Thank you to Alan Brown and Shelby, Dean Berry, their network of board members for the Live United Bowl, because it's just a great event, and we're so proud to be able to partner with you this year for our first real year, our first real commitment to the future and the success of this game.
Thank you, James, and we're excited to have you and your team support the bowl game this year. Next, I'll introduce someone who's no stranger to most people in the room, Mayor Alan Brown. He has been with Millway Credit Union for over 30 years. Started out as a loan officer, worked his way up to CEO in 1995. He has also been active in his church, First United Methodist Church. Many of you know when we had a devastating fire, he was instrumental in helping to rebuild the sanctuary. He's another one that it's impossible to name everything he's been honored with and all the committees he's served on. He's been in Kiwanis, obviously city government, the chamber, temple board, and James mentioned Shelby several times. If you know Alan, she's his partner in life and in all that he does. They are a power couple and they make a difference in our community. They chaired the campaign for the United Way, and born from that was this idea, along with Jeff Robertson. They had a dream about 10 years ago of bringing a Division II football game to the Texarkana area. And it is something we can all be proud of. It's something we look forward to. This time, join me in welcoming Mayor Alan Brown to the podium.
Thanks, Robin. And it is hard to believe that this is year 9. It's only our 8th game, and it's year 9. And one thing that we have a tradition of doing here, and I've asked Assistant Mayor Stephen Hollybush if he would come forward. There's Stephen, and my co-art Bobby Brueggemann. Mayor, it feels good to be over here now. It feels different. And this is the real color.
Just keep talking.
I hear you. But I've got the last word today. All right. So I want to turn the program over to them. I appreciate them being here, and they've got a little gift for our head coaches.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you this morning. This is a ball game that I look forward to personally every year. I always hope for good weather, and we've had some outstanding teams that have previously played in this great bowl game. A few years ago, I attended the bowl game, and I had the privilege of sitting with about 4 or 5 football officials. And so as the plays developed during the game, they were able to critique and give the inside track on calls that should have been made or were not made, or vice versa, and explaining everything. And so I thoroughly enjoyed that. But I want to thank James Bramlett and Farmers Bank and Trust for continuing this tradition. Also to Dean and Lucretia Berry, who started the bowl game as far as sponsorship. A great organization with the United Way here. Several with different agencies representing United Way are here this morning. And so just want to thank everybody's support and the community's support. And I encourage our citizens in the community to come out and attend the bowl game and enjoy a beautiful day and beautiful weather. We look forward to the teams that are here this year. We welcome you to the Twin Cities. We're 2 cities, but we market ourselves as Texarkana, USA. 2 cities, 1 community, and so we certainly appreciate having you all here. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all for being here. Like you said, we are the Twin Cities, and we are twice as nice, as they say. And so being Twin Cities, a lot of cities, there's competition trying to get those dollars and those resources. But we find ways to work together and pull together what Texas can offer, Arkansas can offer also. Want to thank our sponsors, Farmers Bank and Trust, Dean Berry for his past sponsorship, Mayor Alan Brown for chairing this event. I appreciate all you guys for making this possible. Welcome to the coaches and your teams. We appreciate you guys coming out to be a part of our community and spending the weekend with us, serving and giving back. And so just welcome to Texarkana.
A tradition that we have is that when we have the head coaches here for the press conference, we present them with our respective city lapel pins. And so we have the pin representing the city of Texarkana, Arkansas, and the pin representing the city of Texarkana, Texas. Excuse me, so we'll do the pinning ceremony at this time. They look like 4-star generals with all this hardware on them.
Thank you all. We'll get right into the gist of this, and that is certainly to introduce to you our participants for this year's game. The format today is a thing that we changed a couple of years ago. Is we're going to give you a few minutes at the end of this, this is not going to take very long, and we're going to talk a little football with your coaches. But I want you to do something for me, and that's let's learn a little bit about these universities, and that's one of the processes of having this, one of the reasons to have this press conference. And then we're going to talk a little football at the end, because one of the things that we do, as you guys know, is we're going to put them in some community events when they're here over the first weekend in December, and we're going to teach them a little bit about our community, and they've learned quite a bit about it already, and they're fascinated by the fact that we can drive down to State Line Avenue. So, and all of those guys are supposedly college graduates, but that still fascinates them. So, but it's kind of weird that you're in Texas once, you're in Arkansas another, and they go, "Wow, just can't fathom that." So, but as James Bramlett said, this is technically our 8th game, but our 9th year, and it's from a humble start in 2012, really 2013, where a guy had a concept that we took and developed into what this has become today. And I can tell you, you have two really, really appreciative universities that are going to get to participate in what is a marquee event for Division II college football. And I'm sure they'll explain and can tell you about that when we go. So I do want you to, very seldom, based on his schedule, is he able to be here. But I'd like for you to give a round of applause to Jeff Robertson, our founder, in the back. So we have to talk about our sponsors, because this is a very unique opportunity for us to be able to offer this, to not only, even from my mayor's standpoint, to have a great economic development weekend for our city, but we also understand, with Jeff and my background in Division II football, we do have very limited budgets. So with our cooperation from our sponsors, we're able to pay some of these expenses for these teams, which is a huge burden off of them. But our founding sponsor, naturally, is the Texarkana, Arkansas A&P Commission. We have our title sponsor with First Farmers Bank and Trust. We have the city of Texarkana, Texas, and we'll talk about in just a few minutes, that will be sponsoring our banquet at the Texas Ag Convention Center. We could not do this without the Texarkana, Arkansas Police Department. We have the Texarkana, Arkansas School District. Dr. Kessler's here. We're using these facilities, and what great facilities they are. We could not run this game without it. We have Coach Barry Norton. I saw Coach Norton. Thank you, Coach Norton. Coach Norton is 1,000% behind this game, and we could not do it without him and the use of that football stadium and his facilities. This year we'll be practicing with our visiting team at Pleasant Grove. I want to thank Coach Josh Gibson for that. We'll be going over there this afternoon so that we can see their facilities and so that the coach can get a concept of his practicing, but we'll be utilizing Pleasant Grove's facility for our visiting team. The Texarkana Chamber of Commerce, we would not be here without a benefactor. And that's the whole purpose, and we've talked about this with these guys all morning about why we raise money for this game and to raise money for the United Way. And I tell a lot of people this because they ask me about this, and this was just a thought that I had in my brain one day in 2012 when Shelby and I were chairing the United Way, and Jeff and I were in the process of trying to plan this event. We didn't have a name for it, and we wanted a benefactor. We're not doing this for ourselves. We have zero compensation from anybody here, and we give our money to the United Way. We've had good years. Certainly we've had bad years, but we've had 2 or 3 pretty good years in a row, and there's no exception to us trying to work our tails off to have a great year this year. But if you've ever had the opportunity to chair the United Way, do it, because you're going to see firsthand what organizations our United Way chapter here of Greater Texarkana supports. Now, I will say this because I was rather tired that day when I went into that closet, and I have about 15 Live United Bow shirts, because when you chair that committee, you wear a Live United Bow shirt every day because you're going to some event to try to get people to raise money for the United Way. And I went in there, yanked that t-shirt off my hanger, and turned around and it said Live United. The first person I told was Shelby, and she goes, I think that's a great name. And then 5 minutes later, I called Jeff Robertson, and he said, we have a name. So that's how we came up with the Live United Bowl. And we did have to cross some hoops with the coin phrase of Live United with the United Way, and they certainly gave us permission to use it, but that's how we came up with the name. So I do want to recognize Mark Bledsoe. He's in the back of the room as Executive Director for the United Way. Our other sponsors this year will be American Signs and Banners, Express Employment Professionals, Wadley Regional Medical Center, Wendy's, Commercial National Bank, J.E. Bonding, and Mark Luckett. I want to tell you a little story about Mark Luckett. Mark Luckett has given us a sizable donation this year for about the 3rd or 4th year in a row, and we're going to send almost every student at these high schools that want an opportunity to see a college football game. You're going to go to that game for free. And so I would like for you to give Mark Luckett a hand. Cal Williams Motor Company, Offenhauser Insurance, Nuke Restaurant, and the University of Arkansas, Hope Texarkana. There are still opportunities to volunteer. We'll get all that updated on our website here in the next day or two. And you can contact us through the website and look at our volunteer events. And you can sign up and be part of something that is really good. You'll click on the volunteer link and it will email us to get signed up for something. I want to thank our media sponsors real quick. Town Square Media, 4 States Living Magazine. We will have a program this year. Robin and her staff have done a great job with that program. It'll be available on game day. Fox Sports Radio, Texarkana Gazette. Josh Richard, thank you. He always covers our event. Texarkana Radio, AMI Group Radio, and REMAC Outdoor Advertising. We have some in-kind sponsors, the Douglas Companies, LifeNet, Rogers Trophy and Sign. So at the end of this game, one of these teams will win this ball game, and they will be in the Rogers Trophy presentation to receive our trophy. We will also grant an MVP of the game. The game will be broadcast live on Fox Sports Radio, streamed live on the internet through the Great American and the MIAA website, as well as KLFI. One of the things that I want to recognize is, where's the resources, guys? Texarkana Resources. You guys stand up. Coaches and administrators, these guys right here have not missed a game. And they're going to be on the front row of this football game on Saturday, December the 4th, and we need a great one not to disappoint us. So you guys can be commended. We appreciate it, and we're fixing to bring some guys over there so y'all can show them how to work. Y'all can do that, can't you? We're going to show them how to work. Thank you. Do we have some representatives from Pride Academy? Pride Academy, are you here? We do? So we have a bunch of kids from the Pride Academy, and these kids right here are a recipient of United Way funds, and they're going to get an opportunity to play football with a college football team and interact with them while they're here, and we appreciate the support of the Pride Academy. So real quickly, I want to run down our events. Our community events will begin Thursday night at Harvest Texarkana. The Harvest Regional Food Bank will be packing meals while we're there on Thursday evening. Then on Friday, we'll have community events from 1 to 2:45 at Opportunities, Texarkana Resources, the Pride Academy, and Running WJ Ranch. On Friday afternoon, our teams will practice around the 3 o'clock range, one at Arkansas High School, the other at Pleasant Grove. And then our banquet will be on Friday night at the Texas Side Convention Center. And then our community pep rally will be immediately following that. If weather permitting, it will be in the courtyard of the Texas Side Convention Center. Then after that, we're going to open up the stadium on Saturday morning around 8 o'clock for tailgating, and the gates to come into the stadium will open at 10 o'clock, and tickets will be the same price. It's $10 for adults, it's $4 for a student, and people ask me all the time, a student is a student. So if you have a student ID, you can buy a ticket for $4. You can get these tickets at any Farmers Bank and Trust location here in town, any Millway location, the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce, or the United Way of Greater Texarkana. Y'all want to hear something about these universities? Yeah. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you, this team had the privilege of playing here in 2014. They have basically a new coach. They have a new president of their university since they came here in 2014. However, they have the same athletic director, and it was a pleasure to work with him then. It's already been a pleasure to work with him now. I would like to introduce the athletic director of Southeastern Oklahoma State University, Keith Baxter.
Thank you very much, Alan. Man, what can we say? Wow, this is just a great experience. It's a super experience for us. This morning has been a whirlwind. Alan, we do all have degrees, but I hope there's no test at the end of this, because this morning has just gone pretty quickly. On behalf of Southeastern Oklahoma State University, we would like to say thank you. We are so appreciative and so excited to play in the Live United Bowl this year. Our university, our student athletes, our coaches, and our staff couldn't be more ecstatic. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate Coach Higgins, Emporia State University, on their opportunity to play here. As Alan said, we were here in 2014. The community just opened its arms, reached out to us, and made us feel a part for those few days, and we already feel that on this trip. Durant, Oklahoma is where Southeastern is located. It's about 3 hours northwest of here. We're a regional institution in the state of Oklahoma. We have 11 NCAA sports and men's and women's rodeo, which is a little bit unique for a school our size. But we, again, are excited about being here. We can't say thank you enough. Alan and Jeff, if I can get through this, the vision that you guys had, and then the courage to follow through with it, the tenacity, and all of the hundreds and thousands of volunteers that have came behind you and with you and are here today and will be here in the future. We greatly thank you for the work that you've done. So please help me in giving them a round of applause for that. As Alan said, I've been at Southeastern quite a while and have worked with a few presidents, but it's my honor to introduce the 21st president of Southeastern Oklahoma State University, who in my opinion is one of the very best that we've had. He is very visible. He's made changes in 2 years that are very positive for the university, positive for the community, and very supportive of all our programs on campus. Join me in welcoming Dr. Thomas Newsom.
Thank you, Keith. I want to echo what he said. Alan, really amazing morning, amazing day. And I have, in my professional background, I worked in Division I athletics at a large institution, and we were fortunate enough there to play in some Division I bowl games. And I can tell you this experience is rivaling those. It is really amazing today. We're looking forward to December 4th. So I have to tell you a little personal story. As we were leaving Durant this morning, I got a phone call from my mom, and I told my parents, my dad was a high school football coach, and my mom was a teacher, and told them I was coming to Texarkana for a big announcement that our football team was going to be playing in a bowl game. And they reminded me that in 1962, a few years before I was born, they actually lived in Texarkana. My father was a preacher at a small United Methodist church on the Arkansas side as he was finishing his work at Centenary to become a licensed Methodist minister. And my mom was an English teacher at, I hate to say it in this building, but at Texas High. So I have a connection to Texarkana for sure. So a little bit about Southeastern. We have seen record enrollments, 5,500 students in Durant. We are a proud institution that is a Native American serving non-tribal institution. About 33% of our students are Native American. We are, of course, located in Durant, which is the headquarters of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, third largest tribe in the United States. We have a great partnership with them. We just recently announced that they are our title sponsor, our presenting sponsor for all of our athletic programs, and a great relationship with the Choctaw Nation. We're known for our business programs, teacher education, aviation sciences. We have a large professional pilot training program there at the airport. About 50%, a little over 50% of our students are first-generation students. So we are truly fulfilling the mission of a public regional institution. In terms of athletics, as our athletic director said, we sponsor 11 sports and rodeo. We've had a few national championships in rodeo, and we're really excited about the fact that we're going to be able to continue our football season here in Texarkana. One of the things that I talk to our coach about and our players about when they come in is that our goal every year is to play a 12th football game. And it is such a joy and such a privilege and such a pleasure to be able to do that here in Texarkana and Durant, school from Durant, Southeastern. We haven't done that, I believe, since 2014. It's also interesting that I came to Durant 2 years ago from Texas A&M Commerce, and if my history is correct, in 2013, Texas A&M Commerce was 1-9. In 2014, they were 9-1, and they played in the Live United Bowl. And I believe they played Harding that year in the Live United Bowl as the representative from the Great American Conference. Well, just a few short years later, as Texas A&M Commerce built on that Live United Bowl appearance, they were perennial winning seasons. And if I'm right, they turned it around, and a few years later, in 2017, won the national championship. So Coach Higgins, Coach Fenwick, no pressure. But this is definitely a launching pad, and it's so exciting for us to be playing in what is the premier Division II football game in the United States of America. We're really excited because it's going to be a great experience for our student athletes. We're looking forward to bringing our band and all of our spirit teams to Texarkana. And it's really a way that we're going to go celebrate some success of our university and of our students and of our athletic department. So thank you again so much. We will have a big tailgate prior to the game. We're going to invite all of our Dallas-Fort Worth area alumni, all of our alumni from this area. We are expecting a great crowd of blue and gold supporters that weekend in your city. So appreciate that. I did have a conversation this morning with our registrar. We do have a number of students at Southeastern that come from Texarkana. We welcome more students from Texarkana in this area to our great university. And with that, I'll turn it over to our head football coach, Tyler Fenwick, and say, go Savage Storm.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say Dr. Newsom seems to put pressure on me all the time, because when he got here after our 2019 season, he talked to our recruits. He let them all know that we're going to be playing in postseason, and we expect all these big things. And I'm thinking, do you realize how bad we were? we pulled it together, and so maybe you kind of see the future. So anyway, thank you for having us here. This has been a great experience today. Wasn't sure what to expect. I've been to other bowls, and just the welcoming from the flight this morning to the police escort through town, to meeting all the different people of Texarkana. It's really been overwhelming, and it's very first class. And I think that's, I'm looking forward to bringing our team down here, our players and the coaches down here to experience what I've experienced today. It's ironic that we get to match up with Emporia State. I've gotten to know Coach Higgins over the years, probably more so recently. We actually got to scrimmage them in the spring when we didn't have football because of COVID, and just a good experience, and just the fact that we get together again and I guess play for real this time. They've got a good football team. I think we've got a good football team, and it should be a really good matchup for us. So again, thank you very much, and appreciate you guys for having us and welcoming us in. So.
We're gonna get specific with them here in just a minute, so you'll learn a little bit more about their football team. But it's a great pleasure for me to welcome, as our representative from the Great American Conference, Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Y'all give them a big hand. So one of the toughest jobs that our committee has certainly is who's going to play in this game. Who's going to be our opponent for the Great American Conference. And we look at a lot of things, and we study hard, and we have a lot of phone calls back and forth about what we're looking at, what we're thinking. We make preliminary calls to universities that would be interested. And when we made the particular call that we made this past weekend to this university, it was on board 100% from the get-go. And it's been very exciting to work for them. This will be their first appearance into our bowl game, and we don't want to make it their last, but we certainly want to knock their socks off with enthusiasm and our hospitality while they are here. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce the athletic director of Emporia State University out of Emporia, Kansas, Mr. Kent Weiser.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us, for being here today. I will start out with somewhat of an apology because Emporia State right now, our president is not here because we're kind of between presidents. Our former president, Garen, was recently appointed to the chancellorship for the higher education system in the state of Oklahoma. So she left just a few weeks ago, and the Kansas Board of Regents is actually meeting in Emporia today or tomorrow and Friday at their regular meeting, and hopefully they will name someone there. But you're stuck with me, so I apologize for that. But I do want to. I can brag a lot about Emporia State. We are from Emporia, Kansas. Which is right in between Kansas City and Wichita. We are a regional institution, one of 6 that are governed by the Kansas Board of Regents, 6 state institutions. We compete in the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association, which is called the MIAA. We have 15 sports, and Don, what else? We have about 5,800 students. Don is my Associate Athletics Director for Media, so he always keeps me online here. So on behalf of all of Emporia, Kansas, Emporia State University, it's hard to express our gratitude and excitement about being able to participate in this first-class event. It is especially exciting and fitting for 2 reasons for us, for all of us. Last year with the pandemic problems and not being able to play and not being able to compete, it was extremely difficult on all of us, all of you, our student athletes, trying to keep them engaged and to stay together and have a reason to, you know, to work hard and to be dedicated when you know you're not going to get a chance to play. That's very difficult. And so having this opportunity to play another game and play in this kind of an event here is just extremely special for us, and I know for Southeastern Oklahoma State. It really couldn't have come at a better time for all of us and hopefully for all of you. The second reason is that partnering with the United Way is really a special opportunity. Community service and service to others is a very big part of our athletics department's culture. We really impress upon our young people that you have to share your time and talents with the greater community. And I will brag a little bit on us. Last year, Emporia State won the NCAA competition. It was called the NCAA Works competition. And so we logged the most, our athletics department logged the most community service and most influential community service activities of any Division II school in the country. I was very, very proud. So partnering with community groups, and that's right in our wheelhouse. So it really makes this game really special for us. As I go through our list of thank yous to Farmers Bank and Trust, thank you for stepping up and being a part of this. It means a lot to the student athletes and their families and the university communities. It's a source of pride to be able to play in these games, and it just means a lot. And helping United Way again is a terrific partnership. Of course, Alan Brown, Jeff Robertson, and Jerry Huckabee. Thank you guys for all of the work that you've put in to make this a special event. Our kids are. Well, they're going to be excited. Our kids, our student athletes, our community, they're going to be excited because we have tried to keep this under wraps here for a couple of days. But I know the ones that kind of heard that this might happen were really excited about it. So again, I thank you on behalf of our university, on behalf of our community, on behalf of the state of Kansas. You can see the community pride that comes from just in our few short hours here in this great city. You can see how important this community is to each other and to all of us. And so we're excited to be here. I'm excited to introduce our head coach. He has been with Emporia State for, I think, 15 years. Is that right? 15 or so, 16, whatever. I am so fortunate as individually and our athletics department to be working with such a man of knowledge and integrity, and he cares about student athletes more than just what they can do on the field, and helps young people reach their potential. So no further ado, let me introduce Coach Garen Higgins.
First of all, this has been, as those who came before me said, it's been first class, and there's no question this has been a first class experience. I knew this was going to be first class when I got the phone call and they said that we'd be flying down to the press conference. And I thought, well, I'm afraid of flying. All right, there's the first thing. But then they said it's going to be a jet. And I was like, okay, I think I can make it. So it's been a wonderful experience. I know that our coaches, our players, our university are very excited about playing in this bowl game. We're excited about playing Southeastern. You know, as Coach Fenwick said, we had the opportunity because we did not play in the fall of 20 to scrimmage last spring. And as he said, now it's a real game. And I thought, to be quite honest, we didn't do very well. You guys got the best of us, you know, that day. And I know you guys have had a great year. I want to congratulate you on the great year that you guys have had. I want to congratulate you on being named Coach of the Year in the conference. Very well deserved. I know that our team will be looking forward to coming down here and playing. I think we play an exciting brand of football. And like I said, we are happy, we're excited, and looking forward to the game. Thank you very much.
By the way, Coach Higgins, that's a nice tie you've got on there.
Oh yeah, you tied the tie too.
So please make welcome as our visiting team for the 2021 Farmers Bank and Trust Bowl, Emporia State University. So I want to tell you a little bit about football. Guys, just take a seat there and we'll let you take jabs at each other. So one of the things that you need to know about football is that what we strive for certainly is a competitive game. We've had some competitive games. We've had some that have come back and won. We've had some that kind of blew somebody out. But for the most part, all of our games are competitive. Anytime you know anything about Division II football and you match the Great American Conference up with the MIAA Conference, you're going to get a heck of a football game from top to bottom, regardless of records. So what I want to tell you about Emporia State University is Emporia State University's record is 6-5. And I want to ask you one question. Does the number 17 ring a bell with you?
Yes.
In what respect?
Well, we lost 4 more games with a total of 17 points.
Did everybody get that? They lost 4 games by a total of 17 points. 3 of those teams ended up where?
In the playoffs.
3 of their losses of the teams that combined by 17 points will be playing this Saturday in the... Yeah. They're going to end up in the NCAA playoffs, which will begin this Saturday. So we have a 6-5 record. One of the things that I noticed when I looked at your statistics too, very balanced. Tell us a little bit about your offense.
Yeah, well, first off, we like to go fast. We like to play with tempo, and I grew up a coach's son and definitely believe in running the football, but we also like to throw it around too. We have a young offensive unit, and they have performed really, I think they've exceeded expectations from kind of how I thought we would be kind of going into the year. But we like to, you would say that we're a spread offense. We're an equal opportunity employer, meaning we spread the ball around to a lot of different receivers and get to catch the football. And we have a very talented but young offensive line, and also a good group of running backs. So that's a little bit about our offense. Defensively, we return what's a veteran group over on the defensive side of the football. It's led by our first team all-conference linebacker in Jace McDowell, who's a very good football player. We have done a really good job this year in stopping the run. We've done a decent job of stopping the pass. I think that we're playing the best defensively that we've played. I think as we've shown that here in the last 3 games. So as I said, we do return a lot of starters on that side of the football. We run a 3-man front, and we actually it's kind of a 3-3 stack with 5 defensive backs. So it's a little bit different, but those guys do a good job too as well.
If the game comes down to a field goal, how many?
He was second team all conference, so he was actually 100% on PATs, and I think he was 5-9 on field goals. So longest field goal, 49, 39, yeah, 49. 49 sounds a lot better, but it's 39. Thanks, Don.
We'll open up for a few questions here in a minute, but I want to tell you a little bit about Southeastern Oklahoma State. Southeastern Oklahoma State was ranked pretty much all season. And what Coach Fenwick was saying that you might not have caught is Coach Fenwick's first year, Southeastern Oklahoma State was 1-9. 1-9. 1-10. 1-10. I'm sorry, I gave you credit for a win. So 1-10. Didn't play naturally last year. This year they finished 8-3. By all accord, more than likely was one of the first teams left out of the playoff bracket. By virtue of finishing 8-3, you lost a couple of games that were very close. But you also were able to defeat the number 2 ranked team in our region in Harding University. Harding University lost 1 game this year. Harding University is the lone member of the Great American Conference that will be in the playoffs this Saturday. They're hosting a team from the MIAA, Washburn. They have 1 loss on the year. That was to Southeastern Oklahoma State. So talk a little bit about your season and your football team.
Well, can you get our stats? Can you pull those up in case I get any questions? Because I don't. No, it's been a great year. It's you know, coming from where we were in 2019 and just seeing our kids grow and develop and compete each week, and you know, obviously had some big wins in there, and we had some you know, against some top ranked teams, and had some tough losses that were close losses, and I think our kids, you know, through that are continuing to grow. But we've got a probably more so a sophomore, junior type team that have been around a little bit, and a lot of those guys will be back again next year. A really good small group of seniors, but very, very important to the success that we've had. So, what else would you like to talk about? We have a local player. Riley Russell is from Texarkana. I believe went to Texas High. Quarterback. He's actually our backup quarterback. He transferred in from Trinity Valley. But I'll tell you what, Riley Russell is a great leader, a great human being. He's always got a smile, and he's just one of those people that, I mean, you guys probably know him because I think he's friends with everybody that he comes across. So he's been great to have on our team.
On the defensive side of the ball, and I don't know if you caught this or not, I'd just like to congratulate him again, Coach Higgins, congratulate him. You're looking at the reigning Great American Conference Coach of the Year in Kyle Fenwick, so you need to give him a hand for that. Actually, this morning, he also has somebody that you'll want to watch on the defensive side of the ball. He has the reigning Great American Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, Malik Hall is he's the defensive player of the year. He's an outside linebacker, 6'2", about 235. He's probably arguably one of our fastest guys on the team. And again, he's another one. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always he's friends with everybody. He's works really hard in the weight room. Works really hard in the off season. He's just kind of one of those guys that a great program guy that does everything right for you. So looking forward to him and watching him play again. He's a junior, so he'll be back again next year.
Talk a little bit about your kicking game. What if this game comes down to a field goal or an extra point?
Well, against Harding, we went for 2 to win it, so that might be a possibility. I don't know. No, actually, our kicker. How's our kicker been? Did you look that one up? No, our kicker's overall. He's had a good year. He's been a solid guy for us. He's won some games for us, kept us in some games, and then you know, I don't know if we're going to go. If it's going to come down to a field goal or if we're going to kick it or not, but we'll find out. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It'll be that type of game.
All right, we'll open it up real quick for any questions for Hawkins.
Question for both of you guys. Coach, having missed the whole year, having college-age kids and knowing they're at kinship span, how were you able to keep your group together and just give us some inside thoughts on what you guys went through?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, first off. I think one thing is when you're playing Division II football, it is a little bit different just with the dynamics. I mean, you got you got to love football to play Division II football, and we got a good group of young men that love to play the game of football. We got a great group of young men who are great leaders on our team. I think that that's where it starts, where our leadership, not only from our coaches, my assistant coaches who did a really good job. You're going to depend on them a lot during that time, and then depend on the leadership within the team. And I think that was huge for us. And you know, one of the great things about our program through going through that, we never lost one player. You know, now we had some players that were actually finishing their degree up and would have been a senior if they had played in the fall 20 season and they went ahead and graduated. But as far as losing anybody in the transfer portal or anything leaving, nobody. And I think that says a little bit about our culture and our program, and I think that it was strong enough to really keep everybody's attention span. And then we were able to do a couple scrimmages in the spring, and I do think that helped, where they could go against somebody with a different color jersey, different color helmet.
Yeah, we were similar to that as far as not losing a lot of guys over that course of when we came off of our 1-10 season. We were a young team, and I think our kids were very hungry. So you go through the off season, and then you go through what is the pandemic hitting and what's going to happen next. Are we going to play a shortened season? Are we going to play a spring season? And there was all these things that just kind of kept coming up, and all these different rumors, and and what's going to happen. And our kids, I think through the leadership, and I think through the just the fact that they wanted to kind of turn this thing around together. They kept battling. They kept getting better. They kept hitting the weight room. And then, like Coach said, the scrimmages, we had 3 scrimmages in the spring. So that was something for them to look forward to in the spring. We had scrimmage Midwestern State, Northeastern State, and then got a third one with Emporia. And I think that it kept a goal in front of them and something to look forward to and to prepare for. I can't remember, we had just throughout the fall, we would practice to keep them busy, and and then you get the spring, and you look back and it's so many practices and going against each other over and over and over again. The scrimmages definitely helped their mindset and all that. So we ended up having, I was actually looking at our depth chart the other day, and of our 2 deep, I think there's 31 of those guys, I think is what I counted, that were here in the 2019 season that are still here. And we added a few pieces with some transfers that we needed to bring in some help, but for the most part, we were able to keep that all together.
One thing real quick before I forget, so if you're part of the media, I want to let you know Shelby has a media packet for you. I think we got everybody covered. So if you'll take that media packet, so local radio stations, there should be some tickets in there for you to give away on the air. Your passes for the game, everything's already included in there so that we can get all that taken care of with most of you being here today. So if you will see Shelby after this, she can give it to you. Any other questions for the coaches? Bob Del Giorno.
Coach Fenwick, you said that you have sophomores and juniors being able to practice into December and have extra practice compared to the other teams in the conference that didn't make the playoffs. How's that going to help you next year?
Yeah, no, I think that's a huge advantage to be able to get into a bowl game. When you make the playoffs, it's the next week you're getting ready for that next game, and you're trying to figure out who you're playing. But when you have a bowl game, you've got a little bit of time. We spent yesterday where we were able to develop our freshmen. We're really trying to let our older guys that have been playing week in and week out heal up a little bit and get fresh and just recharge. But it gives us the opportunity to kind of reinstall some things. It's almost an extended spring ball for the future of our program.
Robin.
I just wanted to know if you were bringing your fans and your full pep squads and the whole, how are you bringing people to?
Yes, both universities will be here full and ready to go. So we're making some plans for that. And my comment for that would be, that is an important process of Jeff and I's process. Is when we talk to these universities, we like full commitments from that end, only because one is we put on one heck of a football game. And if you've not been to this game, you need to come to this one. But we're gonna put on a heck of a football team, and we want all their participation. Plus, they're excited, and I have to share with you a quick story that Kent told me, because when I contacted Kent and I let him know that they had the green light to go, of course he was excited. He dropped the phone. He did a number of things, but he said, fine. And I said, we're not going to tell anybody. We won't do any official release. And then we'll officially release everything on Wednesday. He calls me right off the bat the next day and he says, I've had to tell one person. And I'm thinking, well, he told his wife or somebody like that. And he said, no. He said, I had to tell our band director. I said, why'd you have to tell the band director? And he said, because he called me and said, is there any opportunity that we might get a bowl game? We want to keep performing. And he said, there's something on the horizon and we're going. And so he was very excited. So we're expecting a big show out of that band. Also included in those media packets is a schedule on the back. There's a written press release in there for the spelling of their names, that type of stuff. But on the back of that as well, there's your schedule for the community events. I know many of you like to cover those when they're here on that weekend, so that's in there as well. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I do have a question. What are the mascots for Emporia and Southeastern?
We have, you want to give him the stinger? We have the Hornets.
Stinger's up, right here. Hornets up.
And we have the Savage Storm. They will sting you. But yes, Bob.
I wanted to ask Coach Higgins about his quarterback, Braden Gleason, because I heard he was real good, and I was wondering if maybe he's a pro prospect. Can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll get mad for me for saying this, but he's probably not going to. He's only a sophomore, so he's still got a ways with me. But he's a little bit undersized. I'm going to say that he's under 6 foot. You know, I played quarterback and I was short. I always like to make sure that they put me in the program at 6 foot, and I was probably 5'9". But he's definitely he's had a great year. You know, going into this year, we had a lot of question marks about the quarterback position. And we had actually moved the player that played for us in 2019, who was our starter. We actually moved him into a different position, and he plays the stinger back, which is similar to an H back. And he's had a great year, and so we had a lot of question marks going into this year, and even last spring when we had the 2 scrimmages, I don't think Braden performed up to his expectations, my expectations, but he is a coach's son. He loves the game of football, as I said earlier, in Division II. I think that's really important. And he's a sponge, you know. I mean, he wants to be the best he can be, and I think that he understands our offense. He's from a small town in Oklahoma, Muldrow, Oklahoma, and he's had a fantastic year for his first year as a starter. But I think he would be the first to tell you that would not be, he wouldn't be able to have that success if it wasn't for those guys up front. And he's also got a bevy of receivers. We've got a lot of receivers that have made a lot of catches. We don't really have one guy, or what you'd say a one go-to guy, but because the ball's spread around. But he's had a really good year, and he runs the ball effectively. It's not like we have a quarterback run game, but he can also get out of trouble if he needs to. And I know he's looking forward to playing another game.
I do want to show this. We're fixing to have to wrap it up. We have another appointment, but this will be the trophy they're playing for this year. So this will be the first Farmers Bank and Trust Live United Bowl trophy that you guys will be playing for. I have the MVP trophy here, but you know, hearing him say that, Coach Fenwick, it sounds like somebody, your linebacker there, the defensive player of the year, is going to enjoy chasing around. So I hope you guys will come out on December the 4th, attend the community pep rally on Friday night there at the Texas High Convention Center. You'll see all these bands, peps, and cheer squads there that night, and then we're going to have a great ball game at noon on December the 4th here at Razorback Stadium. Oh, it's flat, and I don't want it to break. And so we appreciate all of you guys coming. and we'll see you at the pep rally on December the 3rd, and certainly at the game. Get your tickets at any Farmers Bank and Trust branch, any Millway branch, the Chamber. We are going to sell them at the gate. The United Way will have some tickets. Millway has tickets. So every opportunity to see a college football game at the most reasonable price ever. Thank y'all for coming.